Hey, so I want to break down my role of these faceless channels. And so there's three main ones. The first one is going to be the one that I posted on Chris Barrows for the results for 30 days. I blew up a channel in like 5 weeks or something like that, and that Mr. Beast commented it. And then that's like sort of Sunny V2-ish video documentary essays on different YouTubers niche. And then the other two are two other channels that I'm partnered with for the scripts. And so my role for the first faceless one would be the voiceover and the script. I have an editor to do that, and then I have somebody for thumbnails. But what I've been doing is just lacking on that one. I haven't been putting the time that I should have in that one. And I procrastinated so much for the script in that because I truly just don't want to do the scripts. I did them to make sure I can do it and prove it, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Hence why I've been lacking that. So the plan was to, I still need to post, and I want to post on that one, but I'm just not, unfortunately, motivated to do it. But for the other two, I'm more excited on those faceless ones because those two I have partners with that I literally talk with every day on chat, and it just makes it so much easier to collaborate that way because there's two brains thinking. It's not just me, it's not just them, it's both of us. We're equally liable for something. And so my roles for that would be coming up with ideas and titles, but not fully because they help me out with those topics too, since they know their niche. They individually, because it's on two different channels, two different partners, two different channels, they write the scripts, and then I would go ahead and look it over more involved, not like I did with the space channel where I kind of glimpsed at it and just called it a day. No, the involvement in the scripts is much heavier, and so I'm fixing the introductions first and foremost, mostly in one of them, just because they need to be more YouTubified. Sometimes it'll drag on for too long, or sometimes there'll be things that are irrelevant and aren't appropriate for the title topic. So I'll fix that. And then the rest of the paragraphs, at least for one of my partners, I had to fix the writing a lot more than the other one. And by fix, I mean sentence structure, punctuation, grammar, and overall readability, because although the information is good and great, something I wouldn't have been able to write because I don't have the knowledge for it, I feel like it isn't phrased simple enough. And so what I did yesterday for one of them was just look at his paragraph, or paragraphs, and then rewrite it in my own words or rearrange certain words, and then do that all throughout the script. So that's my role for that. And then on top of that, I would do the voiceovers. Now the voiceovers for the 6-minute video took 15 minutes for me to record, plus 49, I believe, plus 49 minutes for me to edit it, which is actually really long, unnecessarily long. Or maybe it was 49 minutes total. I'm just going to say it took me like an hour to go ahead and do that whole voiceover. And by editing, I mean, or let me start from over. By recording, I would go ahead and record it on Audacity, and I would go ahead and remove the background noise of it that I learned on YouTube. So I always do the same thing. I go to effects, noise reduction, get noise profile, and then go back over there to effect, noise reduction, and then like accept it or whatever. After that, I'll export it as an MP3 or a WAV file. And I won't edit it in Audacity just because it's super annoying because I can't use shortcuts. I have to use my mouse, which is inefficient for me. Well, only my mouse. So I would go ahead and create a whole new library file for Final Cut Pro for that specific video. And then go ahead and chop up the audio to give to my editor, because I won't have my editor do the audio because that's just unnecessary work for him. I'll just do it myself. Oh, that's why it takes me an hour total with that. And then I go ahead and chop it up. And chopping it up, one trick I learned was also reducing the noise wave in the beginning and at the end, just so there isn't a bump in the audio. And so once that's done, I'll go ahead and download that as an MP3. And normally I'd go ahead and just send over that on my Trello board, but I can't just because the file is too big. So I'd go ahead and upload it on a Google Drive and then share the link on the Trello board for my editor for the whole folder, which includes the script and the voiceover. And then I'll go ahead and edit it, which will take at minimum 2 days. And after that's done, I'll receive it. I'll review it. I'll tell them some things to fix, some revisions. The next day, I'll get them back. And either when I get it back or beforehand, I'll be doing music selection. Now, I built up a library of songs that I use, not only my personal, but on my Faceless. So sometimes I like to reuse a lot of songs, but that's not always the best strategy. So finding music is very time consuming, and it would be like a 2-hour process just for me to find music and then put that and then export the video. After the video is exported, I'll go ahead and upload it. Add a mini description, some relevant tags. I'd go ahead and put the advertising ads roughly every 2 minutes ish. I make sure it's in a like chapter title section, so not in a random sentence. And one thing I didn't mention was thumbnails, because now I'm the one responsible for those thumbnails. So these past few days, I've done like 4 or 5 thumbnails on Photoshop. Very powerful, by the way. And each time it takes me roughly 2.5 hours to do a thumbnail, which involves thinking of the idea, gathering the elements, exporting them on Photoshop, and then actually editing it, color grading it, slight color grade. And then, yeah. So that's my flow so far of what I do for Faceless. And I'm taking a look of what I can later on outsource, and that would be the quality control for the scripts. That's definitely a role that I can have somebody else do, but at this very moment, I won't do it because I have the time to do it myself. As far as thumbnails, I paid somebody $8 for thumbnails for the Faceless before, but I have to learn that skill. And so I decided to go ahead and do it. Plus, it'll save me money. Actually, it doesn't even save me money because I'm paying for Adobe Creative Commons or whatever it's called. Actually, no, I am saving money because it's $20 a month because I got the student discount. So yeah, I'm saving money either way, and I'm learning how to use it because I have the time to do it. So that's my process for that. And all that involves zero script writing because all I have to do is edit the scripts, as I said before, which is much easier and funner just because it's already there. And yeah, that's basically my whole process that I use, rinse and repeat. And yeah, if I could think of how many hours it would take for one video, so let me add up, because I know this is a video that I want to make on my Chris Bars channel, which is something regarding like how much time is actually spent in YTA, Faceless channels, or whatever you want to call it. My voiceover, 1 hour, plus editing. The photo, the thumbnail, 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours. So that's 3 hours. And then the editing, because I personally add the music, that would be 5 hours. So, and then, editing the script. That one took me a while. I know it was more than 1 hour when I did it last night because I didn't sleep until past 11, and I was doing it since probably around 9 p.m., even earlier. So I want to say 2 hours. So let's say it'll take me roughly 7 hours worth of work, which I could definitely reduce down to a lot more because on Photoshop, I could hopefully reduce it down to like 30 minutes for me to make a thumbnail because I'll be able to do it more efficiently. But as of now, I'm estimating it'll take me 7 hours per video, and I'm not even counting the idea or the talks that I have between my partners who are scriptwriters, because that's just a lot throughout the day. And I'm not also talking about when I organize the Trello board or when I generate the ideas, but that's fine. Either way, I don't generate them myself fully. So 7 hours per video, and if it's 2 videos per week, that's 14 hours spent per week just on that. So there, that would be a realistic time of how much I spend on the Faceless channel if everything were straightforward and efficient, which it never is. So there you go. Yeah, that's about it. That's all I want to say. Anyway, good night.